In this video, I'm going to be comparing the Canon R8 to the Canon R6 Mark II. Now, before I had both of these cameras, I actually had the Canon R6. And before I kind of chose which way I wanted to go, I had to make this decision right here. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you, kind of going to be comparing them for you and telling you what I like about them. Ultimately, initially I went with this one because of course it is a slightly smaller form factor and much lighter, but there may also be reasons that you want to go with this. So first off, they have the same image processor, so they'll have the same photo and video quality for the most part, but there are going to be some places where this differs compared to this. First off, let's go over everything kind of physically on these. All right, so if you look at these from the side, you can see that the Canon R6 Mark II is noticeably thicker than the Canon R8. All right, so if size matters to you, this one's going to be a lot lighter, more portable. This one's going to be a little bit harder to travel with, but still not too bad. First thing I'll think about, this is kind of my hand on this one. Definitely takes a lot more to hold. Show you kind of from the bottom, that's how it fits on there. But yeah, I can kind of hold that one. This one, not as much effort. It's easier to hold, a lot smaller. I can kind of hold it with 2 fingers as well. This one is just a lot heavier. Going on, looking at the memory card slot right here, this one has room for 2. This one right here, you're not going to access the memory card slot from the side, you're going to access from the bottom. And here you only have 1 in the battery. All right, so kind of looking at it, that's the first thing right there. Next thing you want to know is, usually with this, the shutter is going to be open. It does close like towards the end, but typically the shutter is going to be open, or sensor is going to be open, unprotected. And on this one, whenever you kind of open and kind of expose it, that shutter is closed and kind of hidden. So this one kind of does a little bit better on its own there. When it comes to kind of the peripherals and whatnot, this is how they look on the R6 Mark II. Here, let's open all those up for you. So like the peripherals are pretty much the same on these. It's just they're going to be more separate. All right, so this is what we're working with on the R8, and then the Mark II, this is what we're working with. All right, so exact same when it comes to the peripherals, and then when it comes to the back, you're going to have more access and control. Kind of looking at the R6. So you'll notice on the R6 you have this kind of quick scroll wheel. You'll have the Joy-Con, as well as you'll also have like the rate button over here. Whereas on this one, you have to kind of come in and just press on that. You don't have the little scroll wheel. You don't have the Joy-Con. So it's kind of more effort when it comes to navigating. So it's really a lot of those kind of smaller, nuanced things. I know when I did kind of upgrade / downgrade from the R6 to the R8, it definitely took some time getting used to like navigating a little bit using this. It's not as convenient, but when it comes to the difference in price between these two guys, it may be worth it to you. And then also if you want that smaller form factor, so that's something. Going back to actually using this and some reasons that it may kind of matter to you. All right, this is also not going to have IBIS. It is a smaller body, so they didn't quite have the room to put the in-body stabilization in there. So this has in-body stabilization. If that's something that matters to you, this is kind of what this is kind of your guy. A lot of the RF lenses, you can't. They do have a stabilizer on them. So that's kind of my solution with this. I use the lenses that have a stabilizer. So if that matters to you, I mean, there are lenses that compensate, but if you have a stabilizer in the camera and the lens, you can get even more smoothness from that. Another thing that may be an issue is going to be the batteries. All right, so this is the R6 battery. This is the R8 battery. The R8's battery definitely gets drained a lot faster than the R6. The R6 battery lasts a lot longer. So if you're using the R8, you're definitely going to want to buy multiple batteries. That's just something to consider. But it is also like a decent amount smaller. So that's something to keep in mind too. Another thing to note is the viewfinder. It's going to be larger on the R6 Mark II versus on the R8. So I would say if you are used to an R6 and you love that feeling, it's going to be hard switching to an R8, but ultimately the R8 is, it's going to be feasible if you use your camera more personally, more for photos. In my opinion, if you're doing any paid work like weddings or anything like this is going to be a better way to go, just because you have the dual card slot, whereas you only have one on this. Anything where you're getting paid, probably a better idea to lean more this way. But like this one more for travel. This one is more budget friendly, but if you can and you have the room and whatnot, I would lean more towards the R6 if you can. But if you're traveling and don't need the extra card storage, I would go for the R8 with extra batteries.